As they say in Berg hockey, let's do that Miners Cup hockey. Happy New Year from the one-time practice home of the Pittsburgh Penguins and the ritual home of one of the biggest rivalries in Pennsylvania high school hockey. It's the Peters Township Indians and the Canon-McMillan Big Macs with the Miners Cup on the line for the first time in 2022. Hello, good evening, and welcome. I'm Matt Popchock with producer Todd Kazarowski and company on board. Glad you could be with us as well as the Indians get ready to ring in the new calendar year and try to do so on a positive note. They've won back-to-back PIHL Class AAA varsity contests, most recently a 4-2 decision at Seneca Valley in Warrendale on December 16th, in which the captain made it happen. Cooper Slavin with a pair of goals, the exciting freshman William Tomko with a goal in that contest, Peters Township with 2 goals in the first 2 minutes, and it was enough to propel them to the victory over the Raiders. Peters coming in with an overall mark of 9 wins, 4 regulation losses, 1 shootout loss. The Canon-McMillan Big Macs, their Washington County rivals, another proud southern Western PA program that of late has fallen on harder times. The Big Macs trying to climb out of the Class AAA basement as they enter tonight's contest with a 1-9 overall record. And they are the designated away team for this Miners Cup contest insofar as these teams share this rink. So technically the Big Macs will be looking for their first away win of the season as well. They are 0-5 in that category coming in. They picked up their first win of the season back on December 7th, a 4-1 decision in this building over Pittsburgh Central Catholic, in which Nick Price picked up the game-winning goal. And Price has been the Big Mac's leading scorer to date, 4 goals, 4 assists. And that was a big night for him. More recently, the Big Macs bowed to Upper St. Clair, also on home ice, on the 14th of December. And Austin Rowe, on a positive note, is starting to heat up. He had a goal and an assist in that game. He's got 5 points in his last 3 PIHL games played for Canon-McMillan. And the Big Macs, which have struggled offensively, are looking for contributions and productivity anywhere that third-year coach Ryan Lamberger can find it. Rick Tingle, the 16th-year bench boss, 2017 Penguins and Pennsylvania Cup champion, presiding over another very well-peopled Peters Township roster that currently sits second in PIHL Class AAA. Just 3 points behind North Allegheny, the reigning Penguins Cup champion. North Allegheny, you saw it, well, some of you might have anyway on Pittsburgh Hockey Digest. They won the PIHL outdoor game last night over Seneca Valley by a final score of 2-1. And as I said, the big story for the Indians this year, the rarest of rarities, a freshman excelling on the varsity club for Rick Tingle, William Tomko, 9 goals, 11 assists, 20 points. He is tied for third in PIHL Class AAA in points. He's got 4 of those in his last 3 league outings, so he's starting to heat back up again as the scoring has sort of come and gone at random for him. Ben Kovac, also an underclassman, a sophomore forward, 18 points, just behind Tomko for the team lead. Kovac tied for 4th in PIHL Class AAA coming in. Peters Township as a team, 65 goals, which is the most in PIHL Class AAA, and they've gotten contributions from up and down their roster. In a very seasoned roster it is, 17 seniors at all for Rick Tingle this year. In stark contrast, Ryan Lamberger, really with a rebuilding project at Canon-McMillan, is trying to rebuild that program from the bottom up. 15, an amazing number of juniors this year. 15 juniors for Canon-McMillan, only 4 seniors, I should say, for the Big Macs this season, including their backup goaltender, Charlie Bridge. So only 3 skaters are seniors that have dressed in at least 1 varsity game for Canon-McMillan to this point in the season. And last year it was the Indians taking both of these Miners Cup contests 3-1 on March 9th of 2021 and 4-2 to clinch the Miners Cup trophy on March 18th of 2021. And they'll look to keep the cup again this season in the first of 2 meetings with their Cannonsburg counterparts. The Indians decked out in their familiar black home jerseys with the red stripes and red trim and white names and numerals. And it looks like they'll be attacking from left to right on your computer or mobile device to begin the contest. The Canon-McMillan Big Macs off to our right, decked out in their white away uniforms, very St. Louis Blues-esque with the blue epaulettes, the gold trim, the blue names and numerals, and the blue pants. And that familiar CM crest front and center. There is nothing like Miners Cup hockey, and we've talked about Peters Township coming in, playing well, looking like one of the favorites once again in Class AAA. We've talked about Canon-McMillan on the other side of the tracks going through some growing pains, and this is the kind of rivalry game you really do get amped up for, because when you've got a team that quite literally has just about nothing to lose against a team that's playing for a little bit more, playing for first place, playing for playoff positioning, playing for pride, crazy things can happen, and just about anything can happen in a rivalry game, and it should be an interesting contest here tonight. Caleb Kovac, the senior, will take the face-off for Peters Township against Austin Rowe, the senior for Canon-McMillan, and the Big Macs control it and try to go from D to D, but stealing is Austin Malley, who's returned from a hand injury to the lineup for Peters Township. And that first shot of the game is denied by James Morgan, the junior goaltender, as he is tested immediately. Indians push the puck through center, where it's gathered in defensively by Cannon Mac. Traffic jam in neutral ice right in front of the Big Mac's bench, and it's controlled by Carson Alexander. Alexander over the Cannon Mac blue line, drops it off before he gets sandwiched by a couple of Cannon Mac defenders. Indians using their physical superiority to try and protect this puck, but it'll come free to Canon-McMillan, and they'll get it just outside their own zone and back to center. Indians in digging for it, but Canon-McMillan able to get it deep, and retreating to play it for the Indians is Colin Kimberling, the senior. Kimberling makes a blind pass to the half boards as the Indians try to flip it past their own blue line, and they do get it out to neutral ice before the Big Macs have to reset. They'll just chip it back in, and Kimberling has it off a Cannon Mac stick, takes a lofty bounce up in the air, kept alive at the blue line briefly by David Soleil. And Cannon Mac gets the puck deep before the Indians gather it in behind Kyle Thomas, the sophomore, coming off a win in that aforementioned game over Seneca Valley, and a steal with the blue line by Price. His long slap shot is denied off the right shoulder of Thomas. Lead pass intended for Slavin, the Peters Township captain, is going to go too far. Ryder Mertens instead going to try to flag it down. He can't. Cannon Mac back to center. Intercepted now by Kobe Ringwald, the junior defenseman, up ahead from Mertens. Mertens dropping it off for Ringwald, but he couldn't keep it inside the offensive zone. Indians have to tag up here, and Richard Woods will let his teammates do that before he takes a hard hit from Aiden Freund, and the Cannon Mac fans expressing their approval off to our left in the early moments of a scoreless game. Here's Tomko for the Indians over the blue line, draws the traffic and the attention of three, and he draws a penalty as well. Peters Township going to get its first power play opportunity of the game as Thomas comes off for the extra attacker, but Rick Tingle will not have time to get that extra attacker on as the Big Macs touch up, and play is whistled dead with 14:35 to go in the first period, and the number 2 ranked power play in Class AAA will get an opportunity to get up on the Big Macs early here. Peters Township coming in 29.4% of the power play. As I said, good for second, just behind North Allegheny. Kimberling unable to keep, so the Big Macs get a good face-off win and a big clear there to start the penalty kill. Cannon Mac would love to make some hay on special teams tonight. They're 76.7% of the PK. That is 7th place in Class AAA. Ben Kovac with it behind the net. And the Indians get it to the center point for Alexander through a crowd and deflected just wide. To the half boards it goes. And from a bad angle, it's flipped off the blocker of the Cannon Mac goaltender, James Morgan, who stifles the rebound with the Indians hacking and whacking. Kovac to take the draw. And the Indians win it this time. One-timer, score! Crisscross applesauce. William Tomko, his 10th goal of the varsity season. The freshman just won't stop. His team-leading 21st point, his second power play goal of the year, and Peters does cash in. They take a 1-0 lead with 13:57 to go in the first. Textbook puck movement by Rick Tingle's power play, and the Indians are off and running. Tomko all alone in front of the Canon-Mac goal as this puck takes a funny bounce off the side of the net that Thomas was able to control. And it's back to center where Adam Schiarilli, the junior, will dump it back in, but the Indians quickly send it into Canon-Mac territory. McKenna in front. Shot went just wide, and the rebound is loose and covered in the blue paint as you hear the goal announcement feeding William Tomko. Martin and Kovac, Ben Kovac that is, getting the helpers on the power play goal by William Tomko, and the Indians lead 1-0 and have an offensive zone faceoff. McKenna through a crowd on goal, denied again. Morgan trying to hold down the fort and mitigate damage early here for Canon-Mac as the puck goes out of play. Quick change here by Coach Tingle. Caden Kazarowski, the senior, now to take the draw to the left of Morgan, the junior netminder. Comes out in front where it's defended successfully by the Big Macs. Good positional hockey there by Canon-Mac, but they can't clear the zone. Kazarowski pressuring. As the puck comes around the boards, it's cut off by one of the Indians, but Canon-McMillan is able to eventually work it back to center, where it's gathered in now onside by Luke Casiola. Casiola had a big insurance goal for Peters in their last game, that win over Seneca Valley, and he forces another offensive zone faceoff for Peters Township, which continues to press the issue here in this first period. It's not just the top-end guys that are doing it for Peters Township. It's the depth guys like Casiola that are starting to get into the act, and Rick Tingle's team beginning to hit its stride, or so he hopes, as the Big Macs have a chance the other way. Here's Nick Price putting it just wide. The Canon-McMillan captain trying to equalize, but to no avail. Centering pass goes off the stick of Price, and the Indians gathered in and flip it up ahead for Andrew Masucci, the all-PIHL soccer star for the Indians. And this puck takes a funny bounce off a skate of one of the teammates of James Morgan, who freezes. Morgan, 457.50, the minutes and seconds played, 838 save percentage, 479 the goals against average. And he'll watch the face-off on his right, which the Big Macs win cleanly. Good work there by Mark Trischler, the junior forward, to help his team work it back to neutral ice. So the Big Macs get a little bit of a respite anyway, down 1-0 on the early power play goal by William Tomko. But the Indians are on the attack once again. Caleb Kovac spinning around. His drop pass is fired off the blocker hand of Morgan and into the protective netting, out of play. Malley, who is showing not too many signs of rust from all those games missed due to injury. Well, he can really snipe that puck. And now it is Mertens to take the draw for the Indians against Zach Wilcox. And Wilcox has been a hot hand with a 3-game goal streak coming into this contest. But the Big Macs this time turn the puck over. And in the corner is Cooper Slavin. Slavin drops it for Alexander. Carson Alexander threw a screen, never made it through. Slavin backhander, score! Listen to your mother and take out the trash. Cooper Slavin makes it 2-0 Peters Township Indians, the captain with his team-leading 12th goal of the season. None of the Big Macs able to find that loose puck at their feet in front of James Morgan, but Cooper Slavin sure did, and he goes to his backhand and easily whips it past Morgan, and the Indians have doubled their advantage here in period 1. Bouncing puck picked up by Peters Township. Canon-McMillan pressing, trying to get something going here after being shell-shocked by their rivals early. But here come the Indians up through center. Chase Stouffer into the glove of Morgan, who hangs on. Morgan's counterpart, by the way, we told you about him at the beginning of the contest, Kyle Thomas. 551 minutes and 44 seconds played. Thomas with an .879 save percentage, .277 on the goals against average, and one of 2 shutouts for the Indians this year. Thomas's overall mark, 8-2-1. Thomas coming off a 28 save effort for the Indians in that win over Seneca Valley, as this turnaround shot is denied by Morgan. Good effort there by Ben Kovac, looking for his 9th, but Morgan was equal to the task. And here comes Canon-Mac the other way. Nate Berlando, the sophomore, is ridden off the puck, and McKenna will let it go to his defensive partner, Connor Murphy, who sends it around the boards. And waiting for it is the sophomore, Camden Martin. Bouncing puck gathered in at his own blue line by McKenna. And into Canon-Mac territory it goes. Retreating is Tommy Larrere, but turned over to the Indians. And here they come. Here's a shot on goal denied by Morgan. Indians with it at the side of the net. The bouncing puck comes to the right point. Convenient bounce there for McKenna as it comes to Tomko. Tomko's backhander denied. Rebound. Indians crashing the net, but they overskate it. And Larrere, with that big body of his, is able to escort it to the corner. And the alternate captain for Canon-Mac is able to ice this puck. And in high school hockey, you can change lines in spite of an icing call, and that is what Ryan Lamberger will do. Peters Township with a 2-0 lead over Canon-McMillan, just over 10 minutes to play in the first period here at Printscape Arena. The first of 2 Miners Cup games here in the hockey hotbed of Washington County. And a hard hit in the corner, and a penalty coming up here, and it's going to go against the Indians. One of Peters Township's skaters retaliated to the hard hit, and it's going to be an interference call. And now Canon-McMillan will get its first power play chance of the contest, and a chance to ebb the tide here, perhaps. And if there's one area in which the Indians have been a little bit exploitable, it's been the penalty kill. They've had their ups and downs on the PK. Peters only 9th in Class AAA, coming in at 75% in that category. Canon-Mac also 9th in power play conversion rate. They are 12.1% entering this week's games. And the Indians are trying to force this puck back to center, and finally kicking at it is Masucci, and he forces the Big Macs to reset. Woods was the one getting the gate for interference, the junior defenseman. And Canon-McMillan is on the man advantage here for another minute and 25 seconds, down 2-0. Goals by William Tomko on a Peters Township power play, and by Cooper Slavin at even strength thus far. Big Mac's working with it. They come around, and a backhand shot is denied by Thomas from his knees. Shot from distance by Ethan Franchik is blocked by one of the Indians. That was Malley getting in the way. And he sends one of the Big Macs to the ice hard. That was Berlando, I think, getting the worst of that one. Great shift on the PK by Malley, and his teammates let him know. 45 to go on the man advantage. Another hard hit, this time absorbed by Hudson Howard, the junior forward of Canon-McMillan, but Howard still has the puck. Howard creating space in the near corner. Looking to go to the point for Petrillo. Petrillo's shot deflected just wide of the goal. Good effort there by Dom Tricana, the junior, trying to take away the eyes of Thomas. But Canon-Mac unable to find the net. This puck will sail wide of the blue paint and all the way back to center. Howard's going to have to retreat here, and he's not going to get there. Caleb Kovac will, and he comes in shorthanded, trying to duck around a check. And from the prone position, he gets back up as the Big Macs will try to outlet it in the final seconds of their power play, and they're not going to get another opportunity as Ringwald comes in onside. Kobe Ringwald, the junior defenseman, very much a 200-foot player for Rick Tingle. Kills off the remainder of the penalty clock. We're back to even strength, and it remains a 2-0 game with 7.5 to go in period one. The Indians keeping the play alive here before it's finally whipped back to center by Petrillo. Slavin with space between the circles. His shot partially blocked. Rebound score! Ryder Mertens. Like shooting fish in a barrel. Towns the fish, people are the barrel. And the Peters Township Indians take a commanding 3-0 lead. Another second chance goal for the Indians. Rebound control presenting some issues for junior James Morgan here in period one. And for Mertens, this team's top returning point getter from last year's team, that is his 5th goal of the varsity season. And Mertens is on the puck again for Peters Township. It's played off the glass, but not quite out. Now the Big Macs will be able to work it back to center. Schiarilli around the boards. Mertens for Peters Township up ahead to Slavin. Slavin around a man over the line. Slavin waiting, watching, shooting. It's blocked. Good stick work there by Trischler to stay with the Peters Township captain. And the Big Macs gain the red line and dump it deep in Indians territory. This puck misplayed by one of the Indians, and a one-timer shot. Score! Trischler nuzzles that nylon for Canon-McMillan, and that's a huge goal for the Big Macs to steal some momentum back. With 6:30 to play in the first period, it's now a 3-1 game. Mark Trischler, his first goal of the varsity season. So the turnover leads to a backdoor play, and the Big Macs execute it perfectly. And now the underdog has a little bit of life as we play on here late in the first. Canon-McMillan back on this puck as it's played near side by Austin Rowe, back to center. Intercepted in neutral ice by Colin Kimberling. Indians deep in pursuit in Canon-McMillan territory. From the side of the net, it's sticked aside by Morgan. It stays in play for Tomko. Tomko trying to casually duck around the check, but he lost the puck, and that'll enable Canon-Mac maybe to get a counterattack going, but it was not to be. And Rowe is going to have to wait for his mates to get on side here. They are, but the puck is stolen by Alexander. Up for Ben Kovac. Ahead now for Martin. Martin into the glove of James Morgan, who makes a nifty save there to keep it a 2-goal hockey game. And the Indians undaunted after surrendering that first Canon-Mac goal to Mark Trischler, the junior forward. But it is the Big Macs winning this face-off, and around the boards it comes to Price. Price unable to get it back to center. Now the Big Macs will, and Aiden Briggs now has some momentum as he carries it into the Peters Township zone. Indians playing it behind their own net. It's stolen by one of the Big Macs and centered out in front. Bounding puck controlled, though, by Max Ness. And up ahead it comes now to Luke Casiola. Casiola 1-on-2. On the off wing, looking for Ness. Ness couldn't handle the pass. Caden Kazarowski pressuring the puck, but Canon-Mac gets it back to the red line where the Indians try to reverse play. Instead, they will go D to D here with 5 minutes to go in the first period. Peters Township with a 3-1 lead over Canon-McMillan as the Big Macs are on the attack, and putting it off the side iron there was Trischler, the goal getter, looking for his second. Bodies collide as Peters Township will regroup here defensively. Kazarowski lets it go, and it'll be taken by Berlando. Long lead pass, too far. Far enough for icing. And that'll bring it back to Canon-McMillan territory. where the Indians win the ensuing faceoff. Slapped off the dasher by Connor Murphy. It comes to Malley. Malley from the right hash. Behind the net for Caleb Kovac. Kovac reversing the play, protecting the puck to the corner where he's ridden into the glass. And now double teamed. Malley in to help out his teammate, but Canon-McMillan has the puck. And this pass connects with Berlando. Berlando trying to get a step on McKenna. He almost did, but McKenna put a shoulder in him to cut him off and dispossess the puck. Now Thomas will freeze off the backboards at the side of the net, taking no chances. Lamberger going to change it up before the face-off in Peters Township ice to the right of Kyle Thomas. And the Indians control this puck to the corner where it's played by Caleb Kovac. Kovac gave it away to Rowe, but the Indians fight back for it. And eventually they'll push it back towards center ice. Laurie over the line for Canon-Mac. As Malley plays this puck off the glass, not quite out. Glove down by Laurie at the right point. Sends it in deep for Rowe. Rowe off the side of the net. Takes a convenient Canon-Mac bounce, and Thomas was trying to freeze it, but he couldn't. And this lead pass, outlet pass I should say, takes a funny bounce under the stick of Masucci, and that'll allow the Big Macs to get the puck deep. Another backdoor play, this time denied by Thomas, and the rebound is put wide. He knew exactly what Austin Rowe was thinking, and this time he was ready for it. And here come the Indians 2-on-1 possibly, but Slavin fans on the cross-ice attempt. Big Mac's in transition now. Game opening up just a teensy bit with 2:45 to go in the first period. Mertens overskates, but Stouffer has it for Peters Township. He's ridden into the corner, but Mertens goes right after that puck. Boy, he can fly. Off the boards it comes, up to Nick Price. Price will break it out for Canon-McMillan as they'll just put it off the glass, and this should be icing, and that's a good call there by linesman Schultz as Trischler watched it go by. Face off to come in Canon-Mac territory with Peters Township up by a pair. And the Indians get it back to the point for Woods, who's just able to keep it inside the zone. Centering pass is controlled and put in the body of Morgan. Puck still loose, and Morgan gets a quick whistle. He did not have that puck frozen, but the official lost sight of it, and he blows the play dead. And that's a break, I think, for Canon-Mac. Mertens on to take another face-off. This time Canon-Mac wins it. Petrillo puts it off the boards, and outside the zone it comes. Indians have to tag here. And a turnover to Stouffer. Centering pass. Mertens shoots. Save made by Morgan from point blank. It bounces off the top of the net and somehow stays alive, does this puck, as Mertens has it. Mertens trying to center it for Stouffer. That pass didn't work. Indians in the far corner, drawing the double team is Slavin. Slavin out in front looking for Mertens, but he was too well covered by Ciarilli. As the Big Macs are able to clear the zone. Woods off a stick and back to center. Stouffer into the offensive zone. Stouffer shoots over the crossbar, and the rebound is put off the body of Morgan, and we get a whistle here behind the play. And are they going to say that Peters was offside? And with 1:18 to play in the first, a little bit of confusion here as we try and figure out the call. And I think there's going to be a penalty against Canon-McMillan. I think there was a penalty behind the play. We're going to skate 5-on-4 here for Peters Township. I didn't see what that penalty was. I apologize, but In any event, the Peters Township power play, already 1 for 1, goes back to work late in the period with a chance to get that goal back. From the circle, it's Tomko. Tomko again from the top of the left circle. Side of the net. Ben Kovac unable to do anything with it, and the Big Macs clear it, but they clear it out of play. And we'll hopefully get official word on what the offense was that we did not catch initially. But it's Peters Township on the power play as Koch, the other official, goes down right in front of the Big Macs bench. Just kind of lost an edge there. A bit of a lighthearted moment as the puck is again out of play. And we'll face it off to the right of Morgan. Bench minor, too many men. And here come the Big Macs, potentially shorthanded, but Price is just going to watch this puck go deep as the Big Macs are content to just try and kill the penalty here late in the first period. And if they're able to go into the break down only 2, well, that's at least a little bit of a victory for them after falling behind 3-0. Near side, Kimberling working along the half boards. Ben Kovac has it now. Drop pass. Shot, save made into the stomach of Morgan, and he freezes. Camden Martin was buzzing. 55 to go in the penalty, 13.7 to go in the first period. So barring unforeseen developments, Peters Township will begin the second on a man advantage. Kept alive at the blue line. Well, not quite. Carson Alexander that is, just couldn't quite keep that going, and it's offside on Peters. Now the Indians need a face-off win and a quick shot here if they want to try and get one more, and they're not going to get that opportunity, it looks like, as the horn sounds. The captain, Cooper Slavin, extending his goal-scoring streak to 4 games in that first period of play. He was aided by William Tomko on the power play and by Ryder Mertens. Canon-McMillan showing some life later. Back here at Printscape Arena at South Point, where the Peters Township Indians lead the Canon-McMillan Big Macs by a score of 3-1. Cooper Slavin, the captain for Peters Township, once again extending his goal-scoring streak to 4 straight games. He was preceded on the score sheet by William Tomko, the freshman, on the power play. And Peters Township getting another even-strength goal from Ryder Mertens that made it 3-0. Mark Trischler answering off a turnover for Canon-McMillan, and that's where we stand as play resumes here in Cannonsburg. The Miners' Cup, one of the premier high school hockey rivalries in the Commonwealth, not just Western Pennsylvania. And the Indians on the attack to begin the second period. Here's Mertens dangling with the Indians on a truncated power play as this fadeaway shot by Slavin deflected off a Canon-McMillan skate, and it went wide to the right of Morgan. One-timer put wide, rebound out in front, score! Chase Stouffer Another PPG for PT. The Indians do get it back. And their special teams continues to terrify opponents as Peters Township extends its lead to 4-1 just 28 seconds into period 2. Chase Stouffer, his 6th goal of the season and 3rd of the power play variety. And Ryder Mertens, I believe it was, absolutely got wrecked by a Big Macs defender right in front of Morgan. But the Indians take one for the team. They pay that physical price to make the play and get the power play goal. They're now 2 for 2 on the man advantage. And the Indians regain their 3-goal bulge as the Big Macs counterattack. Here's Nick Price, shouldered off the puck by Woods. Now Ness will swipe at this puck in the far corner. 50-50 battle won by the Indians for Woods. And carrying it now is Ringwald for Peters Township as he surveys the play, and he'll take matters into his own hands now, the junior defenseman, and snap it in on goal where Morgan sticks it aside, and another rebound there given up, but this time it's cleared aside by the Canon-McMillan defense. Indians on this puck almost immediately. 3 men on it, and they force a turnover. Here's Cassiola, and Cassiola stabs at it for Max Ness, and Ness took a hard bump there. Canon-McMillan fans liking it. Right now, the Big Macs need goals, not hits. They're down 3 early in the second as this nifty backhand pass by Briggs is for naught. Thomas read the play and covered up for a faceoff. Now, Peters Township starting strong. Another big first period tonight by the Indians. 25 first period goals coming in for Peters Township. That's the most in Class AAA. So they don't just shut games down. They know how to come out strong. And Canon-McMillan trying desperately to keep pace here as the Indians try to jam it in along the side of the net. Morgan didn't have it completely covered, and now Malley and one of the Big Macs pushing and shoving. Malley and Freund going at it, and Malley might go here. And for that matter, Austin Malley wants to know why he's the only one going. Well, because you're the second man in, Austin, that's why. That's the way it always goes, no matter what level of hockey you're talking about. And so Canon-McMillan, 0 for 1 on the power play, will get its second opportunity of the game, trailing 4-1, as we've got 15 minutes till they cut the ice here at Printscape Arena. Still a lot of time left in this game, and special teams goals have a funny way of changing the complexion of games. But the Indians get a face-off win, and they work the puck back to center. Kovac shorthanded. Up ahead for one of the Indians. That's Masucci, who just lost it off his blade at the last second. If he didn't, he would have had a glorious chance there in alone on goal on Morgan. As it is, Masucci's going to do yeoman's work here, taking time off the penalty clock. Now 1:35 to go in the power play. Roughing the official call against Austin Malley. And one of those instances where Malley just needs to take a number. Kind of an unnecessary penalty after the whistle to put his team shorthanded. Big Mac's trying to make him pay. And pinning this puck up against the backboards is Connor Murphy behind his goaltender Kyle Thomas. But the Big Macs pry it loose, and it comes to the point for Trischler, who has the only Canon-McMillan goal of the game. Indians clear, but not out. Trischler with lots of room. Blasted off the blocker of Thomas. Oh, boy, did he rip that one. Thomas really had to stand tall there. And maybe say a little prayer in the process. A lot of speed off that shot by Trischler as Peters Township is finally able to get the puck deep. Half a minute to go on the power play for Canon-McMillan. Laurie having trouble playing this puck behind his own net as Ben Kovac applies pressure. Great work in deep by the Peters Township penalty killers, and this is going to take even more time off the clock. Maybe time for one last rush if the Big Macs hurry, but at this point that seems like a pretty big if. Howard sends the puck deep. It's at the side of the net and sent up and out, and that'll do it. We're back to 5-on-5 with 12:55 to go in the second, and it remains a 4-1 lead for the Indians. This puck poked at by one of the Big Macs. That's Vitodian, and Thomas makes a save, hugging that near post as Peters Township gets its transition game going. Tomko for Martin. Martin not going to get a clean look on goal as he is ridden into the glass, and he takes a couple of punches after the fact here as Morgan forced the face-off. And let's see if we get maybe a tit-for-tat penalty here, or are they going to just let boys be boys and we'll keep playing 5-on-5? We'll see. If you're Canon Mac, you got to be careful because, you know, you got that last penalty go your way, and, you know, the way the game tends to even out, you got to be careful not to give them the next one. Woods sends it into Canon Mac ice as the Indians tag up. Long lead pass, too strong for Price, but Nick Kubik gets there, and the junior defenseman in pinching on the play for the Big Macs takes a hard bump, and Canon Mac trying to get a cycle going here, but Peters Township has this puck pinned, and Tomko calmly trying to play it back to center. He can't. Mertens tying up the stick of Price as it's centered for Kubik. Now the bounding puck is scooped up by Mertens, and Mertens will send it off the boards to himself as the Indians cross the blue line. Mertens off the right toe of Morgan as he looks for his second of the night. Briggs counterattacking now for Canon-McMillan. Price lost the puck. Lead pass intended for Mertens, too far. It will not be icing. Kubik has to play this puck, and he gets a hard bump there from Slavin for his troubles as the Big Macs try to spring Price up ahead of the play, but the Canon-McMillan captain was too well marked. And now we get a whistle and a penalty coming up here as a fracas breaks out right in front of the Peters Township bench. And now the Peters Township fans coming to life as Woods and one of the Big Macs is going at it. And fists are going to fly here in South Point. Briggs and Woods with an old-fashioned Hanson Brothers style scrap at center ice. And now Price and Kazarowski are chirping each other. Price just wants to know what the penalties are, but Kazarowski is not letting him have anything of it. He's not giving him the time of day. Well, there will be penalties, of that much we are certain. Against whom and how many, well, that remains to be seen. Play ceases with 11:27 to go to the ice cut. Peters Township 4, Canon-McMillan 1, and emotions running high in this Miners Cup rivalry game. Some free lumber at center ice as a couple of the Indian skaters are trying to clean up the mess while we sort out the penalties. Now, the next game for the Peters Township Indians, while we wait for the official word, or words as it were, won't be for another 3 weeks thereabouts. They're at North Allegheny next on January 24th at the Barrel Ice Complex in Warrendale, and that'll be an emotional game as well for Peters Township. The Indians, the only team to beat North Allegheny thus far in the 21-22 season. North Allegheny, the reigning Penguins Cup champs, denying Peters Township another crown a couple of years ago. Canon-McMillan, by the way, will be back here at home this approaching Thursday against Jim McVeigh's Bethel Park Blackhawks. That's another big South Hills rivalry, and Canon Mac and Bethel Park, I can remember the 2000s and the 2010s. Those teams always played some fun games. Canon Mac was in Class AA for a while with Peters Township before moving up to AAA, where Bethel Park has been for many years. Now, why don't we take this time to give you a brief scoring summary. Peters Township with the first 3 goals of the game in the first period. William Tomko on the power play, his 10th. Followed by Cooper Slavin, his team leading 12th at even strength. Ryder Mertens, his 5th at even strength. Mark Trischler with his first of the season got Canon-McMillan on the board. Then just 28 seconds into this period, it was for the Peters Township Indians as we check it here. It was Ryder Mertens paying the price to help Peters Township score the power play goal. And that is where we stand right now, 4-1 Indians. Peters Township coming in, looking for its 3rd consecutive victory. Canon-McMillan came in looking for wins in 2 of 3. Again, a very young Canon-McMillan team this season. 15 juniors in all on that roster for Ryan Lamberger. And you know what they say, winning owes you nothing. And the Big Macs this season have had to learn that the hard way. And still we are paused here as we're continuing to sort the penalties out. Again, a couple of fights moments ago breaking out after the whistle in neutral ice, right in front of the Peters Township bench. And we might be, when all is said and done, even strength. Hard to surmise who exactly started the fracas, per se. So it's hard to imagine either team coming out of this with a power play, but stranger things have happened. And by the way, we mentioned that outdoor game, the PIHL outdoor game earlier. You can see that game in its full tapestry on Pittsburgh Hockey Digest's YouTube channel. Tomorrow afternoon, that will drop at around 4:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Special thanks to Brian Mitchell for doing the work of many, many men to make that production possible. A very successful event as Peters Township, the Pennsylvania Interscholastic Hockey League returning to the outdoors, the great outdoors, and North Allegheny, which leads Peters Township by 3 points in the standings, winning that outdoor game last night over the Seneca Valley Raiders, their North Hills area rival, by a final score of 2-1. A game effort from the Raiders, and they got great goaltending from Jonathan Nichols, their exciting sophomore. And Nichols did just about all he could to keep Seneca Valley in that game, but a buzzer-beating goal before the ice cut by Trey Gallo, the defenseman, and Gallo added another for North Allegheny. Now here, once again, it's 4-1 Peters Township. Tomko, Slavin, Mertens, and I was having a moment earlier, Chase Stouffer, the goal scorers. Tomko and Stouffer on the power play scoring for the Indians. And Trischler scoring the lone Canon-Mac goal 10.5 into the first period at even strength. Set up by Ben Vitodian and Dom Tricana. And Richard Woods, it looks like, has been given a game misconduct for Peters Township, judging by the reaction of the Indian fans off to our far left. And we still don't know what officially the penalties are. They are really taking their time sorting this all out. And a game that was moving along at a pretty decent pace considering the stoppages and a number of goals, 5 in total so far, has now slowed to a crawl. Although perhaps, again, in a rivalry game, we should expect nothing less. And so far, Cooper Slavin, the Indians captain, has the only extra penalty up on the board, a 2-minute minor penalty. Again, play stopped here with 11:27 to go to the ice cut. So let's see if Canon-McMillan does, in fact, get a power play out of this. Again, we have no official word, and a lot of you are wondering what we know so far, and what we know is we don't know. And Peters Township, 2 for 2 on the PK thus far. And as far as positives are concerned, that's one that Rick Tingle was going to want his team to build upon. And I'm sure he'll be pointing that out in practice this week if Peters Township can continue its penalty-killing success in this game so far. Malley, Masucci, Kimberling, and Carson Alexander are the foursome out on the ice for Peters Township. So ultimately, it looks like Canon-McMillan will get a power play. The Big Macs sending out Burlando, Price, Franchik, Trischler, and Wilcox at the point. And we might actually be playing some hockey here. Two fights just to the left of center ice, and a 2-minute penalty up on the board assessed to Cooper Slavin. And it will be a power play for the Canon-McMillan Big Macs. And off the faceoff, they center this puck, and it's broken up immediately by Masucci, who clears the zone. And when we do get an official rundown of all the penalties, we'll pause, and hopefully you'll be able to pick that up on public address here organically as Canon Mac penetrates the offensive zone, down 4-1. Trischler with a slapper, save made, rebound, Thomas sliding to his right. You'll get nothing and like it, Zach Wilcox. A perfectly set play by the Canon-McMillan power play, but Thomas read it very, very well and got over to his right just in time to stop it and swallow it for a faceoff. Trischler wins the faceoff for Canon-McMillan. The Big Macs looking hungry on this power play as this snapshot from above the circle is deflected wide off of Peters Township leg. Burlando reverses his ground, creating space. To the corner he goes for Franchik. Franchik to the opposite corner for Price, the Canon Mac captain. For Wilcox, for Trischler, right point. His shot partially deflected. It comes right to one of the Big Macs. Now back up to Trischler. Through a crowd, it's denied somehow, I think, by Thomas. I think he just got a piece of it with his stick. Now one-timer is partially fanned on by Burlando. And up to the half boards, but not out. 50 to go in the power play for Canon-McMillan. Up to the left point it comes, and a slap shot is blocked now. And Masucci's going to be feeling that one, but so far no worse for the wear as he comes back shorthanded. Masucci trying to work it around Mark Trischler, but Trischler stands him up to prevent the shorthanded chance. And the Indians will be able to clear this puck once again and take more time off the penalty clock. Under half a minute to go now in the extra minor to Cooper Slavin, the Indians captain. As one of the Indians blew a tire behind the Canon Mac goal. And a penalty coming up against Canon-McMillan. The determination of Ryder Mertens on the PK draws a penalty, and there goes the power play for the Big Macs. So we'll skate 4-on-4 for 19 seconds, and then the Indians will have an abbreviated power play. And they've already nicked Canon Mac for a pair of power play goals tonight. Big Mac fans not happy with the call, and neither is Lamberger, as he argues with Cook. And Cook arguing right back. Now the FAR official retreats to his line, and Schultz, the other official, is going to drop the puck in the Canon-McMillan zone as Lamberger sends some new specialists out there. Peters Township really dominating on special teams, and you better believe that's been a difference in this game to this point. Mertens off the face-off, pushes it to the corner. The Big Macs have the puck, and they have Price up ahead of the play, but Price is well covered by Carson Alexander and Kobe Ringwald, and Ringwald will shield this puck with one hand, pull it behind his net, and he's going to kill off the rest of the penalty himself. And now the Indians with 1:41 of power play time with which to work. 9:25 to go on a running second period clock. Indians 4, Big Macs 1. Chase Stouffer from Malley. Malley, top of the left circle. Deeks lost the puck, but Alexander has it, and his shot never made it through. And here's a possible chance the other way for Wilcox. Wilcox snaps it off the stick of Alexander, who stayed right with him. Now Wilcox blows a tire behind the goal line in Peters Township ice. And they're going to let Mertens play this puck for Stouffer. Stouffer watches it fly up into the air, took a funny bounce there, and to the corner it goes for Ryder Mertens. Mertens for Stouffer, back to Carson Alexander for Mertens. Mertens cross ice, snapshot blocked. Ringwald unable to get that puck through traffic. Now Ringwald passes it back for Mertens. Mertens for Ringwald. Ringwald cross ice for Alexander. A little globe-trotter hockey by the Indians as this puck is put off the mask of Morgan and cleared but not out. Mertens to Alexander. Near boards. Back to Ryder Mertens. Cross ice for Ringwald. Ringwald snaps. Save made, rebound, and swiped over top the net. It's shipped wide by Malley. Cleared up and out by the Big Macs, who dodge a bullet there. The Indians really moving the puck well on this power play, and they have time for one last rush if they wish. But a turnover here and a chance maybe for Canon-McMillan, and a fortuitous one at that, but Thomas makes a save on Hudson Howard, sealing off the post. Big Macs steal it. Out in front, it's put wide of Thomas's glove. Another callously given away puck there, almost led to a goal for Hudson Howard. He had two great chances on this shift as we're back to 5-on-5. Big Macs trying to get that transition game going. Here's Berlando getting stood up by Ringwald. Indians with it. Here's Casiola back to center. Caden Kazarowski, the alternate captain on now for the Indians, watches it go back into Peters Township territory where Ringwald gets there. Puts it off the glass, off a Canon-McMillan foot, and it just sort of dies at the red line. Indians put it off the glass, and up ahead for Max Ness. Ness through the right circle. Backhander into the stomach of Morgan, who hangs on. 7 minutes to go to the ice cut. And it'll be an ice cut worth the wait. A long stoppage in play with 11:27 to go in the second period as two fights broke out in neutral ice. And it led to a Canon-McMillan power play, but the Indians not only killed it off, they generated a power play chance of their own. And special teams remains a difference for the Indians, who are in command. Centering pass out in front. Oh, Ben Kovac, if he gets that puck, it's 5-1 before he can blink. I think Kovac might have had his stick lifted there at the last possible second. In any event, Camden Martin up ahead looking for Kovac. Tomko in pursuit as well. Indians keep it alive at the right point. They're trying to get this puck deep. And now they have to tag up. And they do, as Ben Kovac goes down, and a penalty coming up against Canon-McMillan once again. This time Kovac. The younger Kovac drew the penalty. And for the fourth time tonight, it'll be Peters Township on the power play. The Indians, 2 out of 3 thus far. .6:23 to go, second period, as Laurie will sit for tripping. Ben Kovac trying to finish what he started as he takes this face off, but the Big Macs win it and they clear it. Great work there by Ciarilli. And a chance maybe shorthanded for Price. He gets the puck into the crease where Thomas will play it conservatively. Well, there's nothing wrong with getting the puck deep, and the Big Macs are able to do just that. And the Indians win this face-off. Up ahead it comes now for Martin. Camden Martin, far corner, with his puck cross ice, fanned on by Tomko. He had that all teed up too. Carson Alexander retreating. And Hudson Howard's all over him like a cheap suit. And it's turned over to Nick Price. Price shorthanded for the Big Macs. He gets hit and almost goes down, but he keeps his feet and still has this puck. Trying to ram it in behind Thomas. Oh, and he almost did. He thinks it's across the line, but it is not. Thomas was just barely able to cover it. Oh, what a cheeky little maneuver there by the leading point getter for the Big Macs. He almost got his team a big shorthanded marker, but Thomas freezes it. 1:12 to go, and the minor penalty to Laurie. 5:35 to go in the period. Peters Township trying to add to a 4-1 lead here as they work on their fourth power play of the night. But they've got to win another faceoff in their own zone. Now you can't question the work ethic of this Big Mac team, results aside. Stouffer from the left hash to the point for Kimberling. Around the boards it comes to Ringwald. Ringwald thought about shooting. Instead he'll go to Slavin. To the corner for Stouffer. Now for Ringwald. Snapshot went wide of everything. Kimberling going after this puck. As it comes free to Slavin. Slavin trying to outmaneuver his man. He can't. It's stolen. A great play there, shorthanded. As coming back the other way is Austin Rowe. Rowe off Thomas. They made rebound. Save again by Thomas. Trischler trying to play party crasher and net his second of the game, but Thomas was ready and waiting. End-to-end action here with 17 to go in the man advantage for Peters Township. And right off the faceoff, a shot on net, and Thomas had to be ready for that one as well. Ethan Franchik, the junior, I think fired that one right off the draw. And Franchik will line up for the faceoff again, but this time the Indians win it to the boards, and they come back through center. Here's Colin Kimberling over the line. Kimberling penetrating, dropping, and shooting just wide is Stouffer, who already has a power play goal this period. Kimberling, left point. Off a Canon-McMillan stick, but the Indians still have it. Behind the net it comes now to Stouffer as we're back to 5-on-5. Indians trying to run the backdoor play, but to no avail. Mertens trying to rag that puck and outmaneuver a Canon-McMillan defender in the process. They can't. And here's Slavin over the line for Peters Township. Slavin, Deeks, dances to his right and gives up the puck to Canon-McMillan's number 16, Nate Berlando. And it's loose at the side of the Peters Township goal and poked at by Ringwald. One-timer right in front, and they score! Austin Rowe remains hot. He's now got 6 points in his last 4 games, and the Big Macs aren't done yet. 4-2 your score with 3:35 to go in the second period. Now the Big Macs just keep on pressing and they keep on getting pucks deep. And when you keep chopping wood like that, eventually something good's going to happen. And now off the face-off, Price over the line. To the corner it comes. Centering pass to nobody is sent back to the corner. And Carson Alexander will try and clear it, but he can't get it out. Thomas making a save from distance there on Price. Now Masucci with it for the Indians as he flips it into Canon-McMillan territory. No icing, they say. Trischler will play it, and around on the near boards it comes. McKenna fishing for this puck, which squirts free to Nick Price. Price off the glass, in behind the Peters Township net, where it's played by McKenna. To the corner it comes. Kimberling in deep. Malley with it. Malley to the point. Backhanded in toward the net. Save made by Morgan, and this time he covers the rebound. Now, rebound control has been a problem for Morgan in this game. It's led to a couple of goals for the Indians, but that time he hangs on for the faceoff. Peters Township with a big presence right at the top of that crease. Trying to smell the blood in the water. And to Kimberling at the center point it comes as this shot through a crowd was blocked on its way in. Cassiola in fighting for it, but it's cleared by Zach Wilcox. Ben Vitodian actually got credit for that goal, and if it is his goal, it'll be his fourth, but I believe it was actually Austin Rowe who got the last stick on it. And if so, it'll be Rowe's fourth as Thomas makes a save, and we got a penalty coming up here, an interference call. And Peters Township, believe it or not, might actually be going to the power play here. Or will they? No, this is going to go against the Indians. Ringwald's going to go off for interference. So he will feel shame for 2 minutes and get free. The last 2 minutes of the period, in fact. So we're going to play 5-on-4 to the ice cut unless the Big Macs are able to get a late goal here. And what a huge goal that would be. Peters Township led 3-0 early. It is now 4-2, and Canon-McMillan with a pivotal power play here as Thomas watches this puck glance off the side of the net. Peters Township with an above-the-line effort on the PK thus far, and it'll have to continue to keep this 2-goal lead as this puck comes out to center. Indians pressing shorthanded as it squirts free to Hudson Howard. Howard for Vitodian. It's sent deep into Peters Township territory. And up to the right point, but not quite out. Thomas makes the save off his shoulder. A great effort there from the hash mark by Laurie, but unable to find the target. Now one of the Indians going down behind his own goal as Peters Township clears. Kovac looking for a cheap turnover here. And he might just get one as he pins his man up against the corner boards. That's Anthony Petrillo. And the Big Macs are having trouble getting out of their own zone as Ben Kovac takes more time off the penalty clock. And he forces a steal. Tomko for Kovac. Kovac just ragging the puck here late in the period. 28 to go in the power play and the period for Canon-McMillan. And the Big Macs have to retreat again, and another steal here, potentially by Tomko. Kovac kicks it to himself. Kovac still working. Kovac out in front looking for Tomko, who swats it or tries to off the blocker. Tomko from his stomach. This puck is underneath him, I think, and Tomko draws a penalty. We would hope he draws a penalty after all that. My goodness. Tomko just fighting for his life for that loose puck. Trying to score a miraculous goal from the prone position. Instead, he's given his team a power play with which they will begin the third period. And that's not a bad consolation prize. Three seconds on the penalty clock on the Peters Township side of the scoreboard. 3 seconds left in the period as well, as Hudson Howard is the guilty party. More 4-on-4 hockey for a fleeting moment here. Let's see if Tingle pulls his goaltender. No, he's not going to bother, I don't think. Ryan Lamberger getting an explanation on the penalty call. Peters Township fans getting a little bit restless as we have presumably one more face-off to go before the ice cut here. And the Indians unable to get a clean shot off as the period ends with Alexander putting it off the right foot of Morgan. Now we got a hockey game here in Miners Cup country. Would you expect anything less? Your score through 2, Peters Township Indians 4, Canon-McMillan Big Macs 2. Indians will have a power play for minute 57 when we start the third period after we cut the ice here at Printscape Arena at South Point. Matt Popchock on board with you for more Berg Hockey Live on Pittsburgh Hockey Digest, courtesy of 10 Man Productions and Peters Hockey TV. The number 66, so important to hockey fans in Western Pennsylvania, and it's important tonight here as well. A combined 66 penalty minutes between the Canon-McMillan Big Macs and Peters Township Indians after the goings-on got going on in that second period. So I guess now we can officially call it a rivalry game. Matt Popchock here for more Miners Cup action as we're just minutes away from the start of the third period. Your score through two is Peters Township Indians 4, Canon-McMillan Big Macs 2. Shots on goal 34-18 for the game in favor of the Indians. But bear in mind, they were 17-4 for the Indians through one. And Canon-McMillan really picking up their game in that second period, only behind 17-14 in the shot column. And they really got their forecheck going at the end of that second period. And if you are Ryan Lamberger, you're going to tell your team to keep that energy and build off that and just try to win every shift you can here in this third period. And if you're Rick Tingle, you're going to point to the fact that we did at the beginning of the broadcast, that it is a rivalry game. It is an emotional game, as these teams have demonstrated. And, again, you've got a Canon-McMillan team playing with really nothing to lose. And if you're on the Peters Township bench, you just can't take for granted that you can simply out-talent the team across from you. Canon-McMillan with some pushback at the end of that second period. And it is still a hockey game here. But for the Indians, a bit of salvation as they will have a minute 57 of power play time with which to work as Hudson Howard sits in the box to begin the third period of play. And the game began with a power play goal by the Indians. William Tomko, his 10th goal of the season and second power play tally of the year, made it 1-0 Peters, 3:03 in. 5:26 in, it was Cooper Slavin with his team leading 12th to make it 2-0 Indians. Ryder Mertens scoring at 9:43 into the first period to make it 3-0 before 47 seconds later, the Big Macs got on the board courtesy of Mark Trischler, set up by Ben Vitodian and Dom Turkana, and it was 3-1 Indians after one. Stouffer on a power play just 28 seconds into the second period, got it back for Peters Township. Slavin and Mertens on the helpers. And with 13:25 to go in the second period, again, the Big Macs started to press and started to generate some turnovers deep in Peters Township territory. And right in front of the crease, it was a goal that we thought from our vantage point was scored by Austin Rowe, but officially it was credited to Ben Vitodian. Rowe got the helper and Trischler got the secondary apple. So for now, it's Vitodian's goal, even though our original call was that it belonged to Austin Rowe. But in any event, that's where we stand right now, 4-2 Peters Township. Richard Woods and Aiden Briggs for their respective teams getting 5 in a game for a fight that broke out in that second period. And a very eventful period it was as the Indians moved the puck from left to right on the freshly cut ice here at Printscape Arena. Indians 2 for 5 on the power play thus far. Canon-McMillan 0 for 4. And what a world of difference that has made for both teams. Alexander from distance into the glove of Morgan, who's starting to see the puck really well now in net for the Big Macs. And Morgan has been a busy, busy man, staring down the top-ranked offense in Class AAA coming in. Big Macs get a face-off win, and they slap this puck to the near corner, but they can't get it out of danger. Alexander from the right point. On the half boards for Malley. Back to Alexander. Cross ice. One-timer is blocked. That play just took a little too long to develop. Good stick work there by Turkana to send it out of play. Captain versus captain here in the right circle. Slavin against Price, and Slavin, it looks like, is going to win it. Behind the net for Mertens. Mertens for Slavin. Slavin, snapshot, save made, rebound, loose in front. Swiped at by one of the Indians. Malley couldn't get a clean look. He was too well shielded by Price, who helps his teammates clear the zone. 55 to go on the early power play here in the third period for the Indians, who lead the game 4-2. Good poke check there by Price, standing up his man at his own blue line. Carson Alexander now outlets it for Ryder Mertens. Mertens dropping it for Malley. Malley cross ice for Ringwald. Ringwald too far back for Alexander. He has to wait for his teammates to tag up now. Now Malley with it over the line. Malley risks it high and wide. Indians get to the rebound first, but the Big Macs are able to clear. Alexander drops it backward for Ringwald. Final seconds of the Peters Township power play. Ringwald over the line with speed. On his backhand, pulls up in the corner. Hits the brakes, now goes to Martin, who couldn't quite take the pass. And right out of the box, forcing the steal was Hudson Howard, and Howard sends one of the Big Macs the other way. That's Wilcox, and Wilcox was bumped off the puck hard by a Peters Township back checker as the Indians survive that little sequence. Here comes Canon-Mac over the blue line. Into the corner, it's Franchik. Franchik out in front, score! A postage stamp goal for Zach Wilcox, and we got a one-goal game here in Washington County. Wilcox's 6th of the season. Another backdoor play run to perfection by Ryan Lamberger's team. And Thomas's glove hand just was not quick enough. So Canon-McMillan uses the momentum from the big penalty kill early to get an early goal. 2.5 into this third period, and it's a 4-3 hockey game. Behind the net it comes. Ness playing it off the side of the net. Oh, sloppy giveaway there by the Big Macs, but they survive it, and they come back to center. Over the line with it now is Burlando. Burlando bumped off the puck. Big Macs with some big-time mo now after that goal by Wilcox. And Wilcox now has a 4-game goal-scoring streak of his own. Indians with it now. Kazarowski up ahead. Max Ness will get there and get the puck deep. No icing. Braden Gerchow, the junior defenseman, sweeping it the other direction. Long outlet pass is off a Peters Township glove, and the Indians lost sight of that puck, but Caleb Kovac will clean it up and almost gave it away. To the boards it goes. And loose between the circles, swiped at by Malley, and back to center, off the glass. And it'll be swiped out again by Malley. Malley trying to do it all himself, but he can, and the Big Macs come back on the counterattack. Here's a shot from above the right circle into the stomach of Kyle Thomas, who's just going to slow things down here. Both teams making changes before this face-off with 13 minutes to go in regulation. It's now a 4-3 lead for the Peters Township Indians, who led 3-0 at one point in the first period. Kick back to center to Slavin. Slavin over the line. Slavin up ahead for Tomko. Tomko fan on the shot, and he was taken down. Play continues. Franchik puts it into Peters Township territory. And now the Indians will chase once again, but not before Schultz blows that whistle and calls the Indians for icing. Now, after the game, we'll have, based on what I was told under the table, the Miners Cup Trophy presentation, courtesy of 10 Band Productions, so stick around for that. Whoever you're rooting for, or even if you're not having a dog in the fight, as Thomas had to be ready for that shot from distance. That was a fluky-looking play there. Indians really trying to tighten things up defensively here after surrendering the last 2 goals in this game. Slavin over the line, ridden off the puck by Petrillo. Petrillo coming back with a little bit of speed. And into the corner it comes for Kubik. Kubik takes a hard check from one of the Indians as it's sent off the glass and up to center. And some room to work now for Camden Martin. Martin trying to center it for Tomko, who was too well marked. And so was Martin for that matter. But the Indians do still have it. And into the glove! Morgan says, I'll take that. Thank you very much. Both goalies really just got to be on their toes here for this last 11:38. No shot on goal is a bad one. Off the face-off, McKenna keeps the puck inside the offensive zone for the Indians, and Camden Martin has it. Crossing with Ben Kovac. Kovac's turnaround shot might have caught a piece of Morgan's shoulder as it's bounced toward the net and covered by the Canon-McMillan Jr. Lamberger changing lines here before the defensive zone face-off for Canon-Mac. Tomko will take it against Wilcox, the most recent goal scorer for Canon-Mac. Bad angle shot there by one of the Indians. That was off the side of the net. McKenna retreats to his own end, and he has this puck now defensively for Peters Township. Off the boards it comes, and it's sailed up ahead for Tomko. Back to Kovac. It bounces. Kovac over the line now. Kovac with space as it's poked loose, but Ringwald picks it up. Ringwald with a nice little move there, shoots it, and it knocks loose the goalie stick of Morgan. Morgan playing without a stick now as one of the Canon-Mac defensemen gives him his own blade. And now that it is sent back into Peters Township territory, Morgan will eyeball the play, and he's still playing with a player's stick. He hasn't been able to retrieve his goalie stick yet. And the Indians have it. Tomko in front. Oh, try to shot pass it to Kovac. Nothing doing. Now Tomko is absolutely crunched by a pair of Canon-Mac defenders, but the Indians still have the puck. Side of the net. Kick save made by Morgan. Oh, he's in pure survival mode right now as he ices this puck. And now he'll be able to pick up that goalie stick and swap it out for the other one, as we'll get a face-off in Canon-Mac territory with just over 10 to play in the third period. Ness will take the face-off against Burlando, and Ness wins it for Peters Township. Indians trying to push forward off the draw, but Canon-McMillan gets to the puck and sends it back to center, and over the line comes Price. Price trying to get around a man. He can't. Carson Alexander stood him up, and playing the bouncing puck is Luke Casiola. Casiola snaps it off the mask of James Morgan. To the point it comes, and into the equipment of the Canon-McMillan netminder. Morgan from his knees hangs on for a faceoff. And Price not happy with himself about that last sequence. Thought he should have been able to get around the Peters Township blue line or Alexander, but we play on here. Still a 4-3 game. Zach Wilcox of Canon-McMillan, the only goal of the third period thus far. Vatodian watches it go deep into Canon-McMillan territory where it's played behind his own net by Morgan. Andrew Alexander swiping at this puck as the alternate captain comes on in the third period here for Rick Tingle. Carson Alexander from distance never made it through. Both Alexanders taking a shift here for the Peters Township Indians as the Big Macs counterattack. Here's Rowe with space. Rowe backhander in front. Save made Thomas. Rebound. Save again. Thomas preserves the lead for the Peters Township Indians, who gain the red line and send it in. Rick Tingle calling for a change on the fly as this puck bounces off the Canon-McMillan bench. Ringwald has it as he's sandwiched at center ice. Masucci into Canon-Mac territory. In deep for Malley. Caleb Kovac fighting for it as he gets tied up in the legs of a Canon-Mac defender. This puck jarred loose to McKenna, and Peters Township might have a chance if it hurries. Snapshot off the fingertips of Morgan. McKenna can't get to the rebound. Retreating defensively is Ringwald as he gave it away. Turnaround try by Petrillo was blocked by Masucci. Masucci up ahead of the play now. Unable to find this puck, but it will not be icing. He'll chase it to the corner where Dom Turkana gets there first. In front of Combs, shot, point blank, save made! Morgan getting a little love for the glove. Oh, if that's not right place, right time, I don't know what is. Huge saves at either end by both goaltenders to keep it a 4-3 game with under 8 minutes to play in the third period. And we got us a rivalry game. The Miners' Cup once again at stake here in 2022 as Peters Township is trying to outlast their arch rivals and start the new calendar year with their third consecutive PIHL win. Backhand try wide of the blue paint by Price. And a giveaway to one of the Big Macs. Behind the net it comes. On his backhand is Berlando. Berlando from the corner. Try to center it for Turkana. It goes wide of the net. Big Macs have it again, and they're getting that forecheck going. Indians playing the puck up and out to the red line. Flagging it down in front of his own bench is Ryder Mertens, who gains the red line and sends it in. Chase Stouffer in pursuit. He's pinned up against the glass as it comes loose to Soleil. Near side, it's kept alive by the Indians. Cross-ice pass. One-timer by Slavin is put just wide. Tomko trying to hook up with his line mate there. To the left point it comes. In on goal. Save made. Rebound. It was loose for a moment, but that's all. Just a moment. Morgan hangs on for a face-off. 6:24 to go in the third period. Peters Township 4, Canon-McMillan 3. The Big Macs win the faceoff, trying to overcome a 3-goal deficit and maybe extend this Miners' Cup game potentially. Tomko into the offensive zone, centers it. It's on the doorstep, and Martin was looking for it, but his stick was lifted. And the Big Macs are going to ice this puck, it looks like. Yes, they will. Carson Alexander wins the foot race and gets the whistle. Face-off coming up to Morgan's right. Tomko will take it. He had the first goal of the game just 3 minutes into this contest, thereabouts, on the power play for the Peters Township Indians. And those special teams moments of excellence looming that much larger for the Indians as they find themselves in a 1-goal game. From the side of the net, it's put off the side meshing. Tomko with his puck now, and the exciting freshman is over the blue line for Peters Township, wristing it into the logo as Morgan hangs on. Five and a half to go now, approximately. Still a 1-goal affair between these proud PIHL Class AAA programs. It's been a rough year for the Big Macs. They're trying to look for a huge positive to build on here tonight against one of the top teams in Class AAA. Can they complete the comeback, or can the Indians hang on? Ringwald from the top of the circle. His shot's blocked. Big time love from the Canon-Mac bench for Price to give up the body, and Casiola comes in offside. A captain's work is never done. And Nick Price making the selfless play there to keep it a one-goal game. This puck kicked at. Indians stayed onside, but it doesn't matter because Canon-McMillan has it, and they sail it up ahead to Austin Rowe. Indians with a steal, and they come back. They might have a 2-on-1 if they hurry. Here's Kazarowski. Kazarowski down the middle, shoots, it's blocked, and up into the protective netting, out of play. And nothing wrong with that decision by Kazarowski. It looked like the pass was cut off, so he just kind of flicked it on goal and hoped for the best, but it got a piece of a Canon-McMillan stick in the process, and so they'll face it off to the right of goaltender James Morgan. Kicked at by one of the Indians, who keep it inside the offensive zone. Trischler sails it around the boards. The Big Macs just trying to get it back to center, but they can't. Now they finally do before it's promptly sent back the other direction by Kimberling. Kimberling and Alexander, the defensive pairing, late for Rick Tingle with 4:20 to go in a one-goal game, third period. Peters Township 4, Canon-McMillan 3. Right point. Alexander in deep for Masucci. Masucci can't find it. It's Murphy dumped back through center. Kimberling giving chase as it's played up to Stouffer. Stouffer over the line. Unable to connect with Caleb Kovac, the senior, And the Big Macs instead go D to D behind their own goal line and corner to corner as Alexander cuts off this outlet pass, gains the red line and sends it back in. Quick line change here for the Indians, trying to protect a one-goal lead and maybe add to it late if they hustle. And they will. They force a turnover, but this centering pass goes by everybody, and Cannon Mac comes back in transition. Thomas watches it go by to the corner. It's put wide of everybody, including Adam Ciarelli. Ryder Mertens up for Malley. Malley's outlet pass intended for Slavin, intercepted. Now Slavin has it, but he's unable to take it. No icing, though. Slavin can go in after this puck, and Slavin works it loose and gets it to Mertens. Mertens off a Canon-McMillan stick knob, I think. That puck was headed in, and I think it hit one of these shafts of one of the Canon-McMillan defenders' sticks on its way in. And now we got a penalty coming up here, and it's going to go against the Indians. And so the plot becomes more viscous with 2:49 to play. Kobe Ringwald, the team's top scoring defenseman, going off here, and Canon-McMillan, for the fifth time tonight, has a power play in a one-goal game. Can the Peters Township penalty kill stay perfect on the night? Or will the Macs find the equalizer? Well, we have a delay in play here, and still no official word on what that delay is for. Now, Ringwald is in the sin bin. We know that much. It appears that Ryan Lamberger called his timeout, and that explains the pregnant pause. We thought he might pull Morgan, but he will not. Not yet, anyway. Indians clear it back to center, and that's a big face-off win by Peters Township. Slavin watching those Cannon Mac specialists like a hawk as the Big Macs break it out. They come over the line, and here's a snapshot that's blocked. Good gap control there by Colin Kimberling as the Indians send it deep. And Slavin almost took down one of the Big Macs as he was sort of swiping at that puck blindly. And now Slavin knocked down as play continues. Big Macs might have a chance. They cut in on net. Thomas Might have gotten in the way of that shot attempt as he cut down the angle. Back to the point it comes for Wilcox. Wilcox centers it to the right hash. It'll come to one of the Big Macs from the top of the circle. It is blocked as Burlando was unable to get a clean shot on net. And it bounces all the way back into Canon-Mac territory with 50 to go on the man advantage. 1:35 to go in the game. Cross-ice pass. Nobody home for it. And the Indians have it. Here's a chance shorthanded for Tomko. Tomko dangles. Tomko shoots wide of the net. Oh, Tomko. That might have iced it. But Canon-McMillan catches a break, and now Tomko has another opportunity. Tomko to the net. Tomko makes his move. Shoots. Save again by Morgan. Oh, James Morgan with more big saves than Henry VIII had wives in this third period. And somehow, some way, it stays 4-3 in favor of Peters Township. Two shorthanded opportunities for the most exciting freshman, arguably, in the PIHL, William Tomko, but he just can't find the net for a second time tonight. And here come the Big Macs, still on a power play here for 12 more seconds. Indians need to be careful here as this shot is deflected in on Thomas. Save made, rebound, side of the net. The Big Macs try to wrap it around, and Howard could not tuck it in. It comes to the near boards. We're back to even strength. Bodies collide. Fans are irate. Malley is on the ice, and we're back to even strength as the net is empty, and the net is fired at just wide. You having fun yet? What a way to end this Miners Cup contest to begin 2022. And the Peters Township student section is on its feet right now, urging on the Indians as they try to nurse this one-goal lead all the way across the finish line. 39.5 ticks to talk. 4-3 Peters Township. And they win the faceoff. Canon-McMillan's net remains vacant, and the Indians have it. With it is Mertens. Mertens fanned on it. Mertens comes back for this puck. Now he sends it cross ice. It comes to Slavin. Slavin pins it against the boards and puts it off the glass, and he's content to just get it deep. Time now the enemy of the Big Macs. As the Indians try to keep the Big Macs bottled up here, they've got to hurry. Outlet pass goes off a skate, and it's loose at center and swiped at by Alexander, and that might just about do it. 6 seconds left. 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1. And the Miners Cup, despite a valiant effort by the Canon-McMillan Big Macs, will stay with the Peters Township Indians. What a conclusion to this one. It didn't look like it was going to be a pulse pounder, but it certainly ended up that way. Canon-McMillan nearly completing a heck of a comeback here against the number 2 team in PIHL Class AAA. A couple of low-hanging heads, but I'm going to tell you, I don't think the Big Macs have anything to hang their heads about. What an ending to this rivalry game here at Printscape Arena tonight. The Peters Township Indians keep their poise and keep their winning streak, extending it to 3 games. Your final score, the Peters Township Indians 4, the Canon-McMillan Big Macs 3. Indians now 10 wins, 4 pure losses, 1 shootout loss on the year, and the Big Macs will drop to 1-10. And next up, as I said earlier, for the Big Macs, they're here against Bethel Park on Thursday. Peters Township will have a while to enjoy this one, and they're going to need that R&R for sure. They are at North Allegheny next on January 24th, and we hope to be able to bring you that one as well here on Pittsburgh Hockey Digest, Berg Hockey Live, courtesy of 10 Band Productions. The hard hat trophy is hoisted high by the designated home team, the Peters Township Indians. And it was a hard hat kind of hockey game. Again, we'll try to capture as much of the post-game celebration here and team picture as we can. The Peters Township Indians, they won this Miners Cup with a 4-2 victory on March 18th of 2021. Here on January 4th of 2022, they defeat the Big Macs by a 4-3 final score. And they have the Miners Cup once again. One of the most exciting rivalries in Pennsylvania high school hockey for a reason. The Indians taking a commanding 3-0 lead in the first period, and they hung on to win by 1. Chase Stouffer's 6th goal of the season, that early second period power play goal, lo and behold, the difference maker. He gets the G-dub. William Tomko, another big night from the freshman to get the party started for the Indians. And Cooper Slavin, we said it earlier, we'll say it again, he now has goals in 4 straight. On the other side, Zach Wilcox with a 4-game goal streak and a losing effort for the Big Macs. And a phenomenal effort in goal by the junior James Morgan, who takes the loss. Kyle Thomas picks up the victory in net, the sophomore for the Peters Township Indians, but I don't think this feels like a loss to Morgan. He really did everything he possibly could, including back-to-back shorthanded saves on the Indians' top scorer, Tomko, to keep his team within striking distance. But the Big Macs just could not find that equalizer. And a very special thanks to our venerable producer, Todd Kazarowski, as I untie my tongue, and thanks to his equally capable assistants, Quinn and Anna. Thank you for all your great camera work tonight. Extra hands on deck for an extra special game, and boy, it certainly played out that way. It was a great one here in Cannonsburg tonight. Once again, your final score from South Point. The Peters Township Indians win the Miners Cup with a 4-3 victory over the Canon-McMillan Big Macs. For Todd Kazarowski and crew, and for PhD's boss, Brian Mitchell, I'm Matt Popchock, and thank you for watching and listening Berg Hockey Live on Pittsburgh Hockey Digest, courtesy of 10 Band Productions and Peters Hockey TV.